Asmongold as a political thought leader. Asmongold Hassan dichotomy is fascinating. Is this new? This is May 27th. It is new. The left's big streamer has a political science degree and does real activism, even though he's pretty divisive on the left. The right's guy is a guy who played Warcraft and lives in rotten animal flesh who has something to say. Basically Jesus to them. I'm genuinely floored how quickly Asmongold went from a guy they're unreasonably defensive of to a genuine political thought leader. They actually worship this man who gags at the taste of water and skulks about women in video games not turning him on. They get their ideas from him. Well, let me explain why. It's because I'm right. That's the reason why. The fact is that if you're putting hoes in games and they're ugly, you've got yourself a problem. And a lot of people see that. And they know it. And they're unhappy. And somebody's finally bringing it up. I don't know what to say. And also, being a thought leader, all I'm doing is talking about what I think. I mean, that's it. See, like, here's the problem, is that everybody goes and acts like I can control everybody's minds. But the reality is that I'm saying something that a lot of people already thought to begin with. That most people don't go on the internet to have their mind changed. They go on the internet to have their opinions reinforced. So if anything, all this shows that there's a lot of other people that play World of Warcraft and live with rotten animals and don't like water. And they like hot bitches. What's the problem with that? Another big reason why a lot of people like watching me is because I try to actually approach things with a degree of good faith. And I think that's why a lot of other people don't pop off and they lose popularity. And I think also as like other political institutions become more institutionalized and they become more established, what ends up happening is that they get taken over by certain special interests and they have goals and rules and different mindsets that they have that are not necessarily congruent with the viewpoints that they originally got popular by. The difference is, so this, or you're a terrible person? Yeah, exactly, right? And also, this is what the left does, is it's the elitism that treats having a political science degree as an immutable badge of authority. Yeah, and also, there are plenty of people that have degrees that are morons. Like, I mean, am I supposed to take, like, somebody having a degree in something? Like, now I'm supposed to listen to them about something? I absolutely fucking not. Yeah, no way. And yeah, it's just nuts. I don't take it seriously like that at all. And let's see if I can find the rest of it here. He's not a thought leader. He's a news source, media, and entertainment. Regardless of the way the messaging in this tweet is funny, you have to admit, he's the lowest common denominator, the Walmart American representative. The problem is that I say the way that people think about things in ways that a lot of people think about them but don't want to admit. That's basically the reason why I think a lot of people watch, is that I will say the thing that you shouldn't say. And that's a big, big fucking deal, because a lot of people are afraid of doing that. Yes, you say things out loud, and like you're not an emotional idiot. No, I don't, I'm getting mad or whatever. Too bad you can't really say what you want to say because of TOS bullshit. I would say that, like, most of the things that I can't say because of TOS are things that are like just really bad jokes, right? It's like some joke about, I don't know, something awful, right? That's the majority of things I can't say because of TOS. Other than that, like my actual like political viewpoints, yeah, it's like racist. I can't tell racist jokes because of the TOS. It's not like I can't say what my political opinions are because of the TOS, right? That's a little bit, that's a little big of a difference, or a little bit of a difference. And it's one of the biggest search names right now. People are stupid. They go back to the normie concept. Yeah, of course, right? And let's see here. This is what happens when you write over and over. And this is also another big thing, is that, and I'm not trying to glaze myself. I would never do that, considering I'm the most humble streamer. But I've been right a lot. I have been. I've been right pretty much every single time. Except for like Avowed and like 2 or 3 other things. And so people get upset about this. They get mad. But at the end of the day, the results speak for themselves. They do. They speak for themselves. And I don't know what to say. Most humble and most correct, yeah. And a lot of normal people say what you do. You're likable. You say such things. Well, to me, so this is, and I will go and I'll talk about this for a few minutes because it's kind of like a. Let me think of a good way to say this. Like it's kind of like it's an actual value that I have, and I know this might be very surprising. There's like 3 of these in the whole world. But one of the things that I've always thought is that whenever I was I know it's crazy. Whenever I was a little kid, I was like 9 years old, and I realized that everything in the world was generally fake. Like movies were fake, news stories they're reading off of a teleprompter, and the entire perception that you have with the world is completely a misrepresentation, right? And because of that, what that made me want to do is it made me want to be able to tell this story and document a genuine life and a person who truly existed in the way that they actually were. And that's what I did. And so I've documented everything in my life ever since I was like 9 or 10, and especially after 11 years old, I've recorded everything. And so 11, what took you so long? Well, I knew this already, but then I could actually act on it and record things. So I've recorded my whole life, basically, right? Everything that I've done and everything, because I think that people have, there's a certain degree of obligation that I have to tell the story of a real life. And does that sound stupid or like self-indulgent or egotistical? Maybe it does. But I viewed this as like something, because I feel like a lot of people see things one-dimensionally. And that's why I've told kind of like all of the high points and all of the low points of my life. Right? Like the best things about like, oh, I did this and I did that. And, like things are going really well for me right now. And then there's also the low points. I had a raccoon in my attic, and, I woke up with a dead rat because it would start getting cooked by the sun. And what are some other ones? Oh yeah, all my teeth fell out, and then I was going to kill myself. So I started streaming. And so like the entire story and everything, I think the reason why I care about it so much is because I don't think that it really exists. And maybe nobody ever will care, but at least it will exist. That there will be some documentation of a person, a guy that lived in Austin, Texas, and what he did. And that's it. Unapologetic real. Yeah, and it's been a responsibility that I've felt like I've had for my whole life. Like I record, and I remember even in like high school, for example, like I would bring my video camera and we'd like throw rocks at cars on the way home from the bus, and I would record this, and I would tell my friends, like, and my friends would be like, "Why are you recording this?" I'd be like, "Because nobody's gonna believe any of this ever happened. Nobody will believe this ever happened." Like, and a lot of the stories, like, yeah, because it's so ridiculous and it's so stupid. Like, yeah, it's like there's no way. And so I recorded all of it for years, and it's especially like if you go back to, like, for example, like I have old videos of myself, and I guess I was like maybe 11 or 12 then, and it was something like that. And so like I'm calling my friends up on like the landline phone, and I'm like, do you guys want to come over and watch Newgrounds videos on like on my internet, and all that stuff, right? And then we're gonna go out and we're gonna play at the park and like throw snowballs at each other. And so like and all of the high points and also all of the low points, right? And telling the entire story, I think, is a responsibility that I have to myself, really. I mean, if nobody else, it is because I feel like the world is full of fakery and lies. And I always didn't want to do, I never wanted to do that. And so, and it might sound weird, like maybe it sounds weird, and like explaining it, there's like a degree of like egocentrism that I feel like I kind of am displaying by talking about this, but that's what matters the most to me. So you Truman showed yourself? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Do you think you're a solipsist? Well, I don't know about that, but you're one of the few that wasn't indoctrinated by into posting only positive and glamorous. No, and it never mattered. It never mattered to me at all, because the reason why is that I don't know. I never really thought that I owed my existence to anyone, or I owed anything to anyone for doing anything. All I did is I just wanted to be myself, and that's all that I cared about. I only cared about being myself, and if I had to compromise that, there was no point in existing. Like, why would I want to exist as a person if I can't be myself? And so that's it. You're being a little gay right now? I think you're right. But that's just the way I feel about it, right? That's what it is. And so, yeah, insecure chatter. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, you're true to yourself. Yeah, you dropped your gay card. Is that it? And if someone were to compile it all together in a video, what would you call it? Nothing. I mean, I don't really have a title for it or anything like that. I don't think it really matters at all. Did you see Rachel Ziegler started an OnlyFans?